Clark steals Cheryl Reeve's signal amid Fever run versus Lynx. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark got up to her usual emphatic sideline antics against Cheryl Reeve's Minnesota Lynx on September 9th. The Indiana Fever are facing the Minnesota Lynx in the final game of their 2025 WNBA regular season. Despite this game being broadcast on ESPN, there isn't a ton at stake for either squad. The Fever clinched their position in the WNBA postseason after their win against the Washington Mystics on September 7th, and while they could surpass the Golden State Valkyries for the number 6 seed, it's most likely they'll remain at number 7 and face whoever the number 2 seed ends up being. The Lynx have even less to play for, given that they've already locked up the league's top seed heading into the postseason. This is why star forward Napheesa Collier isn't playing in Tuesday's game, because head coach Cheryl Reeve wants to prioritize her top players being rested come playoff time. Lack of stakes aside, Reeve surely still wants to see a good performance against Indiana, and she hasn't throughout the game's first 3 quarters, as the Fever took a 70-53 lead into the fourth and final frame. Caitlin Clark calls timeout for Cheryl Reeve amid Fever's hot start versus Lynx. The Lynx aren't the only team without their star player competing on Tuesday, as Fever star guard Caitlin Clark is sidelined for the rest of the season because of a groin injury she suffered back in July. However, Clark is still on her team's sidelines for the game, and she took one opportunity to flex her team's success early on in the game, which is going viral on social media. The Fever got off to a 10-0 start against the Lynx. After an Odyssey Sims mid-range bucket to increase the lead to 10, Clark jumped off of Indiana's bench and began emphatically signaling for a timeout, clearly saying that it was time for Cheryl Reeve to call a timeout for her squad. And Reeve followed Clark's lead, as she indeed called timeout while Clark was still doing the motion. ESPN's X account posted a video of this with the caption, "Caitlin Clark calling a timeout for the Lynx grinning face with sweat." The post already has over 180,000 views in an hour and a half. Caitlin Clark calling a timeout for the Lynx grinning face with sweat. Watch Lynx Fever on ESPN, Disney+, and the ESPN app. Many believe that Reeve had it out for Clark during number 22's rookie campaign in 2024, because Reeve was head coach for Team USA's Paris Olympics team and Clark notoriously didn't make the roster. However, Reeve has since come out and praised Clark several times since then, thus dispelling this sentiment. Regardless of whether there was any deeper meaning to her timeout call, Clark certainly seemed to savor her team's